Mr. Boston, I need a medical mistake attorney up here in Frederick County, Maryland. Want to know what I'm getting at here? Stay with me as I share with you this very important information. Hello, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm a medical malpractice and childbirth injury attorney practicing law here in the state of Maryland, and I would like to quickly talk with you today about some key issues when we are talking about a medical mistake attorney, or an attorney essentially who handles medical malpractice cases. Now, a lot of people who contact us have questions about this, and they've suffered a very serious injury at the hands of a doctor, or they were in a hospital and they've suffered some type of harm, and now their question is it medical malpractice? Is this something that they can recover from? Well, the short answer is that a lot of things have to happen before you know whether you have a medical malpractice case. So the answer can depend. But what I want to do is I want to break down to you some of the foundational information that you have to understand bringing a malpractice case in Maryland. Maryland law requires that to be successful in these types of cases, you have to prove that your treating doctor fell below the standard of care owed to you at the time, and by falling below this standard of care, this is what caused your injury or your damages or your harm. I'm going to say that again because you really have to understand that. Maryland law requires that you show that your treating doctor fell below the standard of care owed to you, and by falling below that standard, this is what caused your injury or your harm. Now, if you really think about that, and if you break that down some, what you can see and what you can come to the conclusion, you can come to this conclusion, that essentially sometimes you can have cases where a bad result happened and the doctor did not fall below the standard of care. Because let's just face it, in some instances, surgeries and medical procedures, they have inherent risks in them. And anytime you're cutting on the body and you're going into the body, things can happen. But when we're talking about malpractice, we're talking about a departure from the standard of care. When I say standard of care, essentially what I'm saying is, what would a reasonable and prudent doctor do under the same set of circumstances as your situation? And to prove these things, what your attorney is going to do is get a medical expert, that's right, get another doctor or doctors to review what happened to you. And those experts will give an opinion as to the standard of care. They will say what the standard of care was in the situation that you were in, and whether the doctor did not follow that standard of care, and whether by not following that standard of care, this is what caused your injury. So Maryland law requires that you have to have experts to give expert opinions as to these critical issues. What this should also show you is that your attorney is going to have to do a very thorough investigation in these cases on the front end before they can give you a good and solid answer as to whether they think that your medical mistake, as one person put it, whether this mistake is medical malpractice. So why have I taken the time today to talk with you about this? Because I'm trying to give you insight into the Maryland medical malpractice process. We get calls from people all over this state, whether it be Frederick, which I was talking about in this video, or Prince George's County, or Baltimore City, Baltimore County, Howard County, the Eastern Shore. These issues they come up all across the state, and I'm trying to help you understand some of the critical things that you have to understand and be able to process before going forward in a medical malpractice case. If you have more questions, or you would like to talk with me further about what happened to you or a loved one or someone else, if you would like to speak with me, this is what I would invite you to do. Go ahead and pick up the phone and give me a call. I can be reached at 301-850-4832, or you can send me an email to medicalinjury@bostonlawllc.com. I answer Maryland medical malpractice and childbirth injury, wrongful death questions just like yours all the time, and I'll be happy to take some time and listen to your story. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Again, I'm Marcus Boston, and I'm one of the medical malpractice and childbirth injury attorneys here at Boston Law Group LLC, and we will see you next time. Take care and enjoy the rest of your day.